Let me tell you something that is perhaps only just sinking into you. In the Union capital, if you dare to burst a cracker, light an anar or fire up a sparkler on Diwali day, you will be jailed. This draconian rule by the Delhi government has been imposed because Diwali crackers have been singled out as the biggest triggers of pollution, of toxicity. But viewers, put your head out of the window and sniff the air outside right now if you can. Though no one has taken to bursting crackers, you will still smell the toxic cocktail of chemicals that have already turned Delhi into a gas chamber. Viewers, in my hand is my mobile phone, and it's very simple. All you need to do is to type in Delhi AQI. It'll throw up a link. Click on that link, and what do you see? At the Delhi Institute of Tool Engineering, the air is hazardous. That's what's written here, hazardous. And this has been updated, viewers, just an hour back at 1900 hours. Viewers, if you scroll down, you will see a whole section of other spots. And you can easily glide your finger over this map and point it at any one spot. For example, right now, viewers, at the National Stadium in Delhi, which is near India Gate, the pollution meter is reading 163. So 163, viewers, is what it is reading there. It's very clear. You can see it. And as I said, 421 is the top line. This purple color means hazardous. There are, of course, a whole assemblage of red dots. There's not one single green or orange dot right now. It's either purple, red, maroon. And purple, of course, viewers, is even higher than red. Now, viewers, if you wear a black shirt and stand on your balcony, you will see small flakes on your shoulder blades. It isn't dandruff. This is fly ash. And where are these chemicals coming from? Why has the Delhi air deteriorated so suddenly over the last 10 days? Just 10 days ago, when Delhi was being buffeted by rains and pleasant breezes, you had two back-to-back green days where the AQI was under 50. Viewers, the answer is to be found in Punjab. Here, farmers are burning stubble by the tons. The wind is blowing downstream. It's carrying this fly ash and deadly particulate matter into Delhi. Because of atmospheric inversion, the air in Delhi stultifies. It doesn't clear out. So in this basin, viewers, in this basin, you are shrouded by toxic chemicals which are basically not being dispersed. Now look at the graphic on your screens. Note how as the number of stubble fires in Punjab rises, and it is in the last 10 days, from October 10th to October 19th, gone up almost 3.5-fold, 718 to 2625. And look at the air quality. It's gone up from 98, which is moderate, to 228, which is now in the category of hazardous. Yes, viewers. As these farm fires peak, and last year they reached about 17,000. So we still have a way to go, viewers. That number, 2625, will burgeon further, increase at least 8-fold. And you can imagine where that pollution graph line is going to go. While, viewers, there is admittedly a spike in pollution on Delhi Day because of firecrackers, it is a temporary spike. Let's be very objective here. The real reason for Delhi's toxic air lies predominantly in other triggers. And these triggers keep the air bad for a period of 40 days. Crop burning, predominantly in Punjab, some pockets of Haryana and Uttar Pradesh, contribute 45.7%. These are last year's figures, viewers, to the toxicity. Industries in and around Delhi, around 18%. Road dust, 10%. Vehicle emissions, you'd be surprised to know this. Vehicle emissions, amongst all these is the least, 9.4%. Others, many other factors, viewers, cleaning, etc., of the streets, all kick up dust. That's about, and environmental factors, storms, etc., 17%. Now, given that stubble burning predominantly in Punjab is a major contributor to Delhi's toxic air, one would have thought that along with crackers, the AAP government, which, by the way, is not just in power in Delhi, it's also in power in the northern state of Punjab, would have banned farmers from burning crop waste or biomass, as it's called. But this is not so. There in Punjab, stubble is being burnt barely 500 meters from the Chief Minister's residence. That's right under his own nose. So while your children could all be victimized for bursting a cracker, fires are raging in Punjab, lit by farmers who live cheek by jowl with the Chief Minister of Punjab's home, and they are completely exempt. And it's their stubble that causes almost 50% of the environment degradation, the toxicity in the air. That's the thing that is giving us watery eyes, parched throats, heart problems, lung problems, and serious ailments. Do you know the statistic, viewers? How many people fall sick in Delhi because of air pollution? Just Google it, viewers. Google it. Scandalously, I want you to see this report that has come from near the Chief Minister's residence in Punjab. The impunity with which farmers are going about lighting these fires. Watch.
Request by Vijay to show these visuals where we have seen that how the stubble burning is going on in Punjab.
आग लगेगी जरूर लगेगी जो पराली कट्टेंगे ऐ तो पहली पोल्यूशन जा बड़ा दिल्ली ता हजे ता परालियां नु अग नहीं लाई हुन शुरू करांगे
मुख्यमंत्री का घर बिल्कुल पास में है और पराली जला के आप एक मैसेज दे रहे हो।
जेल हो जू जी हो जाने सानू कोई जेल दी परवाह नहीं साडा कोई हल ही नहीं है इहदे बिना।
नज़ारा दरअसल सिर्फ एक गांव एक खेत एक जिले का नहीं है पूरे पंजाब में इस तरह की तमाम घटनाएं लगातार घटित हो रही हैं।
Viewers, when farmers who are told, please stop, we will pay you from taxpayer money to stop, we will give you from taxpayer money solution that will decompose the biomass, and they don't listen, then viewers, it is akin to arson. And arson, viewers, is punishable. But viewers, the state government must be able to apply the law with the same alacrity it intends to do in Delhi. Scandalously, while you and I will be facing the prospect of jail if we burst crackers on Diwali Day, the laws don't seem to apply to Aam Aadmi Party's own cadre. Now watch these visuals to the left of your screens. These are from outside the home of AAP Delhi Minister Rajkumar Anand, where his supporters are celebrating his elevation in Kejriwal's cabinet by lighting crackers, burning crackers. Look at them, viewers. They're having a gala time. Maza hai. They play, you pay. You pay by going to jail, you pay through your nose, huge fines. But their chamchas have a good time. We caught up with this minister, viewers. It was all happening outside his house. He was busy being serenaded at home. And he's feigning ignorance, saying, I wasn't even at my home. There were some security guards who placed him there at that time, viewers. After all, the cadre are not foolish to burn crackers when their boss is not even watching. Chamchas make sure that boss is watching to get his approval. Nonetheless, viewers, this is his excuse.
इतना सा बता दीजिए क्योंकि गोपाल राय जी ने अनाउंस किया था कि कहीं ना कहीं फटाके नहीं जलाएंगे और फटाकों पे पूरा कंप्लीट बैन था। बिल्कुल। और जेल भी है अब इसके लिए, पनिशमेंट भी उन्होंने लागू कर रखी है। आपके घर के बाहर कल आप मंत्री बने हैं, उसके बाद कुछ कार्यकर्ता आपके सपोर्टर्स ने यहाँ पर फटाके जलाए। आप मानते हैं कि ये गलत हुआ है और क्या इस पर भी कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए?
नहीं, मेरी नॉलेज में नहीं है, मैं था भी नहीं, मेरी अनुपस्थिति में हुआ अगर ऐसा हुआ, और अगर ऐसा हुआ है तो ये गलत है, नहीं होना चाहिए था।
ये गलत है, नहीं होना चाहिए था. Try that line, viewers, on Diwali day. When you light the fire and someone says, come to the thana, we are arresting you, you should say, nahi, galat hai, nahi hona chahiye tha. They won't spare you, viewers, they'll take their hafta that day. Let me tell you that also. Anyhow, let me be very clear with you, viewers. Times now is no problems. If hackers are banned on health grounds, I've already told you, there is a dramatic spike on that day. It may be short-lived, but it's not even worth 12 hours. We never remonstrated when the Supreme Court upheld the ban on crackers. First, green crackers were allowed, now no crackers are allowed, and if you burst them, you'll be jailed, as I told you. Our quibble is only with the selective implementation of rules. Unfortunately, there has been plenty of selectiveness. Invariably, state administrators feel emboldened to curb Hindu festivities on one pretext or the other, but don't venture to apply the same yardstick to judge the practices and customs of other denominations. Now, let me take you through a list, viewers, which will underline what I'm telling you. And do speak to me, because I want to hear your view also on this. Now, viewers, Jallikattu, you might remember Jallikattu. Subject to restrictions after outcry over cruelty to animals. But on Bakar Eid, no restrictions on the slaughter of goats. Goats have no feelings. Is that what we are being told? They don't feel pain. Viewers, think about it. Restrictions on Chhat Puja by Yamuna Bank in 2021 by AAP government on health and safety grounds. But animal slaughter allowed in public places on Bakar Eid. In Hyderabad alone, more than 4,000 metric tons of animal waste on Bakar Eid rots annually. Does this not pose a health risk, viewers? During Muharram, West Bengal government places restrictions on Durga idol immersion. It was pulled up by the High Court, the Calcutta High Court, viewers, for being biased. UP government under Akhilesh Yadav banned the Chaurasi Kosi Parikrama on law and order grounds. In Tamil Nadu, prevalent practice of revenue and police officials banning temple festivals had to be stopped by the High Court. They were so enthusiastic that the High Court had to say, spare the Hindus. Let them enjoy their festivities. Don't curb. Women granted right to pray at Hindu temples by courts, but mosque administrations under no legal obligations to allow women into sanctum sanctorums of those places of worship. No obligations, viewers. Palanquin ritual in a district of Tamil Nadu restricted on grounds of human dignity, but no bar on female genital mutilation, polygamy, and nikah halala. Are these not demeaning? Just think about it, viewers. I'll open this up tonight. And I want to begin with a most obvious question. Is the onus only on the Hindu community to protect the environment? Because if you selectively apply the law, then it appears so. And I have with me Advocate Sai Deepak. Mr. Sai Deepak, firstly, look, if there is mounting evidence, and that too is contestable, that bursting crackers on Diwali sends a lot more people to hospital, etc., by all means, fair enough, curb it. I spoke to Sri Ravi Shankar and he says, you can't ban anything, you can curb them. Say that certain restrictions, 1 hour, 2 hours, etc., and be sure to enforce. That's what his view was. Nonetheless, I want to ask you, I get this feeling that, and I've mentioned all these examples, that the onus is only on the Hindus constantly. Do you get this feeling too?
Namaste, Rahul. Broadly on your question, I think that is the position. I think there's a bit of an echo.
We can hear you clearly. Yes.
Yes, you can?
Yeah.
Okay. In fact, I think a couple of facts need to be presented before your viewers so that they understand what exactly is happening. But before that, a fair and full disclosure. I have argued and I continue to represent firecracker manufacturers before the Supreme Court in the ongoing proceedings. So if that makes me a biased and interested party, so be it. I think I'd leave it to the viewers to deal with the facts. Point number one, I think you must understand that the petition that was filed before the Supreme Court, which is Arjun Gopal versus Union of India, raises a host of issues, which includes firecracker, a ban on firecrackers, but it's not limited to that particular issue. It also speaks of stubble burning. If you look at the number of orders that have been passed by the Supreme Court in that particular petition, the majority of the orders focus primarily on the firecracker ban as opposed to the other issues raised in that particular petition. That's point number one. Two, IIT Kanpur, IIT Delhi, and I think a couple of other reports have been placed before the Supreme Court to clearly show that firecrackers don't even contribute to the top 11 factors which contribute to pollution in the NCR. And these are reports which get as decent as possible. Three, we have presented reports, and I'm not quoting WhatsApp University, credible reports of scientists from NASA, specifically who have identified what is the airflow pattern and what is the reason for the increased particulate matter as far as Delhi and the northern part of this country is concerned. And they've clearly shown over 25% of the increase in the particulate matter in this particular region is because of increased cultivation of basmati rice in Punjab and Haryana. And you must realize that traditionally speaking, basmati rice in both these places, in both these states, have been cultivated only in a handful of districts. But because there is a certain premium both in terms of MSP and other value, and there is an export market to be met in the Middle East as well as in Europe, they have ramped up the cultivation of basmati rice, which significantly contributes to the stubble, apart from other particulate matter. Now, obviously, nobody in this country has the guts to go after farmers. That much has been established after the fiasco with the farm laws, right? And nobody has the guts to go after tobacco manufacturers. Nobody has the guts to go after the construction mafia. Nobody has the guts to go after the, let's say, automobile manufacturers. The softest target possible obviously happened to be the firecracker manufacturers for all practical reasons. Why? Because they're not exactly organized. They don't constitute a vote bank. It's a remote part of the country, and they can be done away with. We even pointed out to the extent that you're looking at a workforce of 8 lakhs, almost 8 lakhs, and a revenue of close to 6,000 crores. We may assume that this particular activity is seasonal because we burst it seasonally, but this is a year-round activity. Okay? And if you look at the summary manner in which state governments across the board, no government is an exception to this, what they do is that they grant licenses, they do everything under the sun, and barely a week before the festival is when the clampdown begins. People who invest their hard-earned money in getting these licenses in one way or the other are then left high and dry. This is the nature of the beast. Stubble burning as an issue needs to be specifically tackled. And in fact, to be fair, even the Supreme Court has said, why can't governments offer some kind of subsidy? Because it's not possible for each farmer to invest in the machine that is needed for this. Why don't you look at creating certain community options, so to speak? Plus, the firecracker manufacturing industry, you have to understand, falls within the very same regulation that governs explosives. Okay, and therefore there are bodies such as PESO and other organizations which heavily regulate it. The industry has come forward for further regulation, offering further solutions, which has come from NEERI and other institutes, including IIT and other institutions. Despite that, we are looking at a situation where this happens to be one of the most bandied industries in the country for all. I don't know what is that specific animus here. Allow me to say something which perhaps is communal and unsecular. When an entire industry goes out of business and people who belong to that industry are put out of their livelihoods, I'm sorry to say they become vulnerable to proselytization, especially in a state like Tamil Nadu, which is a reality. And there are multiple realities to be dealt with here. Okay. And when I presented the IIT report before a division bench of the Supreme Court a couple of months, maybe last year, I was being told, we don't need an IIT report. We will use our common sense. Please tell us, why is it that we should rely on an IIT report when we know for a fact that the moment you burst firecracker, you're increasing the pollution level. The scientific argument, which I hope your viewers will understand, is this. When pollution levels are already at a certain level, thanks to year-round pollution caused by every other factor which has got nothing to do with the firecracker industry, and during that particular period, somebody bursts firecrackers, you're adding to that, over and above that. However, we even presented the solution that during this particular period, have certain specific time windows. Come out with restrictions with respect to communal bursting, so on and so forth, cast even more obligations. The Supreme Court went to the extent of saying that we will ban barium, which happens to be the oxidizer which is used for the manufacture of firecrackers, when there is no stable substitute for barium anywhere in the world. There is no jurisdiction that does this. And therefore, we entered into NDAs with state departments to add additives which reduce the component. The overall composition of firecrackers was reduced by 30%. All of this was done, and still this happens to be the industry that is constantly in the dock. Now, I'll give you one more instance and then you decide this. There is a judgment of the Supreme Court called In Re Sound. I think this is with respect to the that was put with respect to the firecrackers. You take a look at that particular judgment. I'm happy to share the judgment with your viewers. In 8 lines, without any discussion of any scripture, any evidence, the Supreme Court summarily says that bursting of firecrackers is a mere celebratory activity which has got no ritualistic significance and has got nothing to do with the Hindu religion. This is a statement that the Supreme Court made in 8 lines without any adjudication of evidence. And then we had to present document after document to show what is the scriptural relevance. That how the nature of the activity is different in the north and the south. And why is it that bursting of firecrackers is important for people coming from the south? Because we celebrated primarily as Naraka Chaturdashi and not as Diwali. There is a difference between the north and the south. All these examples were given. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say this, Delhi becomes the prism to understand the rest of the country even when it comes to Diwali. I can still understand that Delhi has a peculiar problem with respect to air pollution, therefore it needs special attention. But what is the point of a countrywide ban? It's not as if the air quality levels across the country are the same. That must be left to the discretion of state governments. It's not as if every country in the, every state or city in this country suffers from the very same problems as Delhi. So even when it comes to air quality, Delhi becomes the benchmark. These are the problems.
Well, this has been a wonderful exposition by Sai Deepak. He has gone into at least 6 different aspects of this, viewers. And I am very happy to note that, you know, our viewer family is calling in because there's Archana, there's OP Swaminathan, there is Arun, there is Venkatesh, Raman, Captain Jaspal. I'll go to each one of them now before I come out to the rest of our panel. Archana calling in from Delhi. Yes, ma'am. Good evening. Go ahead.
Good evening, Rahul. Thank you so much for bringing this story on Diwali distress to the forefront. Now, AAP is moving to be an anti-Hindu party, and upheaval politics is, to the hilt. Misgovernance is writ all over. Stubble burning for 2 months does not cause pollution, but celebrating Diwali does. So it's no firecrackers, but Saki Viva for Delhi's health and lungs, So no ban on liquor, but don't celebrate Diwali, don't burn firecrackers. That's it. So that's the AAP party for you.
Well, viewers are very direct. And the AAP may like what is being said, but very direct. I can't muzzle anyone's point of view. OP Swaminathan calling in from Bengaluru. Go ahead, Mr. Swaminathan. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Mr. Rahul. Yes. See, this is atrocious, and our courts and institutions have now come to a stage when any decision against Hindus is they want it to appear as a secular decision. Arvind Kejriwal is a specialist in deception. If you are not banned the crackers, we will be discussing the issue of stubble burning. To divert the issue, he has created that, and I will not be surprised if after 2 days he withdraws this circular.
So you're saying Diwali is being deliberately demonized so that he can, as you're claiming, basically create a diversion. Well, that's OP Swaminathan for you from Bengaluru. Arun calling in from Hyderabad. Good evening, sir. Go ahead, Arun.
Good evening to all you and your panel.
Thank you, sir.
See, there's a different way of celebrating Hindu festivals. So it's pouring salt on pinch. You say you eat sweets. What is this, right? How can they say? If I have some problem, okay, let them ban, but do they make that audacious comments on other festivals? That is one. Second thing is, when AAP already came into government, they should know that what can be implementable, what cannot be. When they promise that, they curb the pollution, and they cannot curb when they are in government in Punjab. It's an irony that I can understand somebody who has never seen the power and what they can
Arun
do. Arun
from Hyderabad says selective. Why be selective? There is something here, he's saying. That's what his point is. Venkatesh calling in from Bengaluru. Good evening, sir. Go ahead.
Hi, Rahul. Good evening. I'm going to sound a little bit like Dr. Anand Ranganathan today. So just a couple of points in a few seconds. One is I will blame the BJP party squarely because they got a resounding mandate from Hindus in the last 2 Lok Sabha elections, and they still don't stand up and make Hindus an easy target everywhere. Number one. Number two is that, because of this resounding mandate, they have to do something. And the other parties, Hindus are an easy target for them because they know that they can't get the Hindu votes. So let's play against it. It's a soft target, easy target. Okay. Do things appear to be secular and still go after the minority vote, because that's how we can survive. Well, thank you, Rahul.
Selectivism once again being highlighted by Venkatesh. Raman calling in from Bengaluru. Go ahead. Good evening, sir.
Hi, Rahul.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I really love your program. Good evening
Thank
to
you,
all
sir.
the panelists.
Thank you. Good evening.
I lived in US for nearly a decade. There are so many stubbles. There are so many ways of disposing of the straws, which is harvested. It can be recycled. It can be done some kind of palletizing and use it in agriculture products, byproducts. Why can't we use that kind of what do you call as a
solutions?
As a byproduct, yeah.
Yeah, well,
there are so many.
At the end of the day, it comes down to better management, administration, and not making false claims all over. Okay, Captain Jaspal calling in from Rohtak. Captain, go ahead this evening. How are you?
Good evening to the panel, very youngish and bright panel. Rahul, you have got the most powerful initials on this whole year, Mr. RSS. Now coming to the point that you have taken today, coming to AAP. AAP means permanently pollutant, sediment, arrogant. They have got nothing to do with the politics. They are the most ungrateful
Okay. Well,
the entire
passionate view
mass of India who had some merit and some plus points came to join you.
Okay.
But you people are most ungrateful to the people who made you stand here.
Well,
and you only create noise and pollute the entire political environment.
Let me, Captain.
Good luck.
Captain,
God
military men speak.
Will survive.
Military men speak with boldness and clarity. Viewers, uncomparable. Now, he has got a grouse against the AAP, and let me just share something with you, and I'm going to bring in some of the AAP as well as Tejinder Pal Singh Bagga, who's from the BJP, and the AAP supporters here, as well as, of course, Advaita Kala. And most importantly, Chirag Manchanda, research scholar, UCB, and former researcher of the IIT, involved with making that report, authoring that report that Mr. Sai Deepak referred to. Now, viewers, in November 2019, when the Congress was in power in Punjab, the AAP there demanded an immediate withdrawal of cases filed against farmers for stubble burning. So a disincentive, the AAP said remove. Here in Delhi, they are baying for jailing those that will light a cracker on one day. But viewers, they were baying for exemptions, campaigning for exemptions in Punjab for those that cause 45 days of hell, mayhem to break loose in the Delhi air. In August 2022, Bhagwant Mann, the Chief Minister, met protesting farmers and agreed to withdraw cases filed against them for stubble burning. He said, "We have decided to cancel the FIRs registered against farmers, be it during COVID-19 pandemic for stubble burning or agitation," he said. So, let me bring in Dr. Akashdeep Muni, Piyush Joshi, and now Chirag Manchanda and Advait Kala and Tejinder Pal Singh Bhakka. Let me first go across to Dr. Akashdeep Muni. Sir, why this double standard? Farmers that are contributing 45 to 48% depending on the moment and the time of the pollution are getting a free run from you. And what did you promise? No, hang on. 1 second. It's not easy to just nod your head. When this problem was raging 2 years ago, you said, "Arey, if we were in Punjab, हम fix कर देते, क्योंकि हम वहाँ होते, हमें elect करो." अब आपके पास दोनों सरकारें हैं सर, मुनि जी, बता रहा हूं, और आप दोनों जगह में फेल हो रहे हैं. ये कैसे हो सकता है? बताइए.
Sure, sir. Sir, the first thing that I wanted to say that on firecracker ban.
Right.
Haryana government has banned firecracker. And the AQI at Haryana.
Answer me one question.
No, I'll answer.
One second. No one is going to jail. 1 minute. Just 1 second. Mr. Muni, I am not here defending UP, Haryana.
No,
1 second. I will condemn them for being perhaps oversimplifying the issue, just like you are. But sir, they are not giving reprieves to farmers in Punjab, are they? It's you who's applying the double standards. I am talking about double standards tonight. क्या सर? नहीं, मैं बता रहा हूँ. पंजाब में फरिश्ते हैं और दिल्ली में दानव हैं. आप मुझे ये बता दीजिए, are Delhi's people दानव्स?
नहीं,
what is this? What about your own cadre? Your own cadre that is bursting crackers on the streets? Look at those pictures.
I'll just explain.
Who are you fooling?
Sir, the first point I want to make is that Haryana banned firecracker where the EQI today was 136 and Delhi had a EQI of 396 today. So that is why firecracker ban has been implemented first. On the stubble burning, sir, you know, there has been an initiative by the Punjab government where Punjab government has said that as per the JPAL commission,
sir, stop it. Doctor, please. Do you take us for fools? Come on. Stop this.
Sir,
why are you being such a weasel on national TV? Come on, don't do this tonight. In Haryana, green crackers are allowed for a specific time window. I'm fact checking you. There's not a complete ban on crackers. Okay? I am talking about, and listen to me. 1 minute, Dr. Muni. I don't know, are you a health doctor or not? If you are, great for you. You know that there are several people who do suffer from asthma. And it gets exacerbated. My own mother does on Diwali day. No one enjoys the prospect, sir, of living in a gas chamber. But the problem is Delhi becomes a gas chamber for 45 days. Not just one day. Don't oversimplify, doctor, and don't sit here and lie to us every night.
Sir, I am not oversimplifying. There has been an initiative by the Punjab government.
What initiative, sir? They are burning parali there. They are burning the entire biomass, and that is what is contributing to the spike. You said that the spike here in Delhi is 380. Why is it 380? Who's bursting crackers right now? Nobody. It'll go from 330 to 600 on Diwali night.
Just let me 30 seconds, sir.
So you take 1.5 minutes, but don't lie on national TV. I'm done with your lies.
I'm not lying on national television. I'm not lying on the national television.
You were just saying Haryana has banned crackers.
Yes,
don't make silly statements which are easily verifiable, and don't force me to constantly come and fact check you. I'm not your principal. At least have the decency to speak some amount of truth.
Let me come with some amount of truth. For stubble burning, there has been an initiative. Thank you, sir. There has been an initiative by the Punjab government where they have said that cash direct transfer was the only answer to stop stubble.
Have you decriminalized burning of parali, yes or no, in Punjab? And why have you done it? Why has Bhagwant Mann met protesting farmers and agreed to withdraw cases filed against them for stubble burning when that contributes 50% to the pollution, while in Delhi you want to jail people for lighting firecrackers? Just explain this to me. मैं पूछ रहा हूँ, are there a special category of people?
Without going deep into the problem, we cannot just talk on this. 75
lakhs. Now he's changing the goalpost and talking about the... Well, Sai Deepak has gone so deep, he's arguing before the Supreme Court and he's telling you there's a problem here, sir.
The Supreme Court has himself...
You have been exposed. You have been totally exposed for your duality and duplicity. Dr. Saab, and I will open the lines to more viewers, and this time they will come and shame you, not me. They will call and they will shame you. 1 minute. One second. Chirag Manchanda and Tajinder Pal Singh Bagga. First, Tajinder Pal Singh Bagga. Another false equivalence is being drawn. This time by the AAP, dragging in Haryana, saying they have also totally banned crackers. That's not the case. There's a window, green crackers are allowed. As Sai Deepak was saying, a solution was used. Now, please respond.
राहुल जी, मैं झूठ मुनि जी की बात सुन रहा था, और जब मैंने झूठ मुनि जी की बात सुनी, उतने में आप जब उनसे बात कर रहे थे, मैंने ये न्यूज़ निकाल ली, और मैं झूठ मुनि जी ने जब कहा...
Keep it straight. No, ऐसे नहीं बोलिए. डॉक्टर साहब, 1 minute. तजिंदर जी, उनको प्रीफिक्स से मत एड्रेस कीजिए.
और ये बता रही है
मुनि जी हैं, ये डॉक्टर मुनि हैं.
किस तरीके से ये झूठ बोल रहे थे टीवी, डॉक्टर मुनि किस तरीके से झूठ बोल रहे थे टीवी के ऊपर. रोज झूठ बोलते हैं इनके नेता, लेकिन आज लाइव टीवी के ऊपर लोग 1 मिनट के उधर इनको एक्सपोज होते हुए देखेंगे. चलिए इसको छोड़ देते हैं, डॉक्टर मुनि जी को छोड़ देते हैं. 2 दिन पहले आम आदमी पार्टी के एक जो मंत्री है गोपाल राय प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करते हैं और कहते हैं दिल्ली के अंदर अगर कोई भी बच्चा पटाखा जलाने की अगर जहमत करेगा, उस बच्चे को 6 महीने के लिए जेल बनाने का कानून अरविंद केजरीवाल की सरकार ने बनाया है. उस बच्चे को 6 महीने के लिए जेल भेजेगी अगर किसी ने फुलझड़ी भी जलाई. एक साल तक बच्चे इंतजार करते थे. राहुल, सोच के देखिए, जब हम छोटे होते थे हम इंतजार करते थे 1 साल की दिवाली आएगी और हम पटाखे जलाएंगे, लेकिन आपने कि कोई बच्चे अगर पटाखे जलाएगा तो उसको जेल में भेज दिया जाएगा. लेकिन उस प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस को 24 घंटे भी नहीं होते हैं. 24 घंटे के अंदर उनके एक मंत्री जो शपथ भी नहीं ली, उनका एक नॉमिनेशन होता है, टीवी पे खबर आती है और उनके घर के बाहर लाखों के पटाखे जला दिए जाते हैं. अब मैं आम आदमी पार्टी का आज कोई भी नेता जवाब देने को तैयार नहीं है कि जो ऑक्सीजन, जो पटाखे 2 दिन पहले पॉल्यूशन फैला रहे थे, वो केजरीवाल के घर के बाहर अगर जलते हैं, उनके मंत्री के घर के बाहर जलते हैं, तो वो ऑक्सीजन देना चालू कर देते हैं. आज पंजाब के अंदर आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार, आप ध्यान करिए, पिछले साल जब दिवाली आई थी, केजरीवाल ने कहा था कि दिल्ली के अंदर अगर प्रदूषण है तो उसके जिम्मेदार पंजाब की सरकार है. उन्होंने कहा था कि पंजाब की सरकार उन पे, किसानों पे पाबंदी नहीं लगा रही, इसलिए दिल्ली के अंदर प्रदूषण है. आज तो उनकी सरकार है. मैं उनसे पूछना चाहता हूं, आपने क्या पाबंदी लगाई? आप फेलियर साबित हुए, इसलिए अपने फेलियर को छुपाने के लिए आप इस तरह की चीजें कर रहे हैं. और पहली बार नहीं हुआ, आप एंटी हिंदू स्टैंड ले रहे हैं.
Okay, one second. Bagga Saab, one second. I have 3 more viewers. Advaita Kala is waiting. Chirag Manchanda is waiting. Piyush Joshi are all waiting. They're very, very important guests in the context of this panel discussion tonight. And I don't want to make it extremely combative. Mahesh ji is calling in from Noida. Mahesh ji, good evening. Please tell me what you think tonight.
Actually, हमेशा केजरीवाल पंजाब के कोई दोष देते रहे हैं दिल्ली के पॉल्यूशन के लिए. इनफैक्ट लास्ट ईयर इनका एक ऐड चलता था जिसमें ये कहते थे कि दिल्ली में हमने देखो कितना कर दिया, किसानों को एक और दवा लेके जाते थे हमने स्टबल का इलाज कर दिया, काफी एडवर्टीजमेंट किया, जबकि दिल्ली में कोई एग्रीकल्चर लैंड नहीं है इतना, और यहाँ बहुत इन्होंने पब्लिसिटी की, देखो पंजाब में ये क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं ऐसा, तो अब वो केजरीवाल कहाँ चले गए, क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं वो?
Well, again, duplicity being called out. Yes, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you, Piyush ji. I'm coming to you. Give me 30 seconds. I want to bring in our viewers. They have taken the time out to be with us tonight, and I'm grateful to them. They're all our family. Raj calling in from Kochi. Good evening, Raj. Go ahead.
Rahul, good evening. First and the foremost, so nice of you to bring this topic.
Thank you.
Actually, you know, it's every year during Diwali this comes up. And, you know, I would like to say that the power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Okay. So you're
Now,
putting it down to arrogance.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is exactly happening with Aam Aadmi Party.
Okay, so you're putting it down to arrogance. Okay, you think that they're taking the people for granted. Okay, that's someone else also said that right now. Prabhakaran calling in from Nagpur. Good evening, sir. Go ahead.
Good evening, Rahul.
Good evening.
It's not only AAP which is playing a dirty politics, but I want to bring to the notice of the judiciary, which is playing down with the Hindus. They are to be condemned.
Okay, well, the judiciary also coming in for criticism tonight, viewers. I have no view on this, of course. It's the public speaking. Mr. Narsimhan calling in from Chennai. Good evening, Mr. Narsimhan. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
I'm calling from Chennai. Actually, in Tamil Nadu also there is a village where foreign birds are coming. So they themselves not busting the cracker. That should be that way. So one more thing, it is India with all diversity. I request all the religious leader, other than Hindu religious leader, to come in support of Hindus to fire the crackers firing. So that should not. So that politics we can keep aside.
Keep the politics aside, he says. Keep the politics aside. Let's preserve our traditions. Let's find ways of celebrating our traditions rather than imposing blanket ban for optics. That's a very clear verdict coming in from the people. Gopinath calling in from Chennai. Yes, Mr. Gopinath. Good evening tonight.
Good evening, Rahul. Good evening. Why do you put Mr. Muni in acid test? Sai Deepak has very clearly explained in detail. You know what is happening.
Yeah.
Since he just comes out.
Well, sir, what can one do?
Cracker is a very important thing because a very big industry. It is a very big industry.
Absolutely.
It is being taken care of lakhs of people.
And let me tell you, viewers, let me tell you something. When there was a ban on the culling of cows, a large number of people, activists, stood up and said, oh, the pink industry, Sai Deepak, you'll remember this, is going to be bled dry. Lakhs and lakhs and crores of people will be out of jobs. Here no one is thinking about the craftsmen of Sivakasi.
So, in fact, you may want to know, and I don't want to take the time of other panelists, because I certainly want to hear Dr. Manchanda and Advaita Kala. I had pointed out to the court that in the context of the Sardar Sarovar Dam, the Supreme Court had said, when you displace a certain set of people, you at the very least have to come out with alternative arrangements.
Yeah.
Now here, when you ban an entire industry, and you're looking at 8 lakh people being put out of their livelihoods, what alternatives did the Supreme Court propose, or at least did the state governments or any other government volunteer with, to say, okay, this is how we'll take care of these people? And the worst part is, it's not as if they've stopped bursting firecrackers, because if Indians are not manufacturing it, the question is, where is this coming from? It's obviously coming from China. Illegal imports.
Yeah.
So the problem is that anyway continues.
Yes.
And we suffer.
Okay. Advaita Kala, please.
Well, you know, Rahul, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind, isn't it? And this is rank hypocrisy of the Khas Admi Party, that you want to jail Delhiites for bursting crackers, and then you have this like fireworks display outside your minister's home. What more can one say about it? And we've discussed this every single year. And Arvind Kejriwal, folded hands and everything, was saying that let me talk to the Punjab government and you know, let's Captain and I sit together and I'm going to put a stop to this stubble burning and make sure that we don't have to face this every year, blah, blah. Well, guess what? Now you have a government. Why aren't you doing it? And what makes me angry is that I'm not a denier. I know that we have an issue when it comes to pollution in the National Capital Region, no doubt. Yes. What makes me angry is the hypocrisy and the convenience with which they want to hang this on Diwali and then brush their hands off any responsibility through the year, through these critical winter months where people suffer, are breathless, have gone through a traumatic time with COVID. And these politicians, forget bursting crackers outside their own home. They have no intention of actually solving this problem.
Well, Piyush, let me bring in Piyush Joshi. Piyush Joshi, this is a question now about finding a convenient scapegoat. Or it's Diwali, it's crackers, hang the people, jail them, but you're not addressing the real issue. And I'm leaving the last word to Chirag Manchanda on this. But Piyush Joshi, quick response to Advait Kala. She's calling out your hypocrisy. You're going for the softest target here.
Yeah, 45 minutes into the program, I thought you forgotten that we exist. But thank you for coming to us. There are two parts of this debate. I won't take more than 1 minute. The first part is why the firecrackers have been banned. They shouldn't have been banned because it's a Hindu festival. They are banned because there is a Commission of Air Quality Management which has recommended that once the air quality goes from poor to very poor, you have to go for the second stage graded response. You have to progress to the stage 2 of graded response action plan. So banning firecrackers is a part of that graded response action plan. So, and who runs this Commission for Air Quality Management? This is the Ministry of Environment of Government of India, not the Aam Aadmi Party government of Delhi. That's the first part of the debate. The second part of the debate is why the Aam Aadmi Party government in Punjab hasn't done anything to curb parali. So while you have mentioned that from October 10 to October 19, there has been a rise of, and the total number of parali burning incidents have increased to 2,628, you forgot to mention that in the similar period from 15th of September 2021 to 19th of October 2019, the incidences were 9,000. So it's a 3 times decrease. So last year, from 15th of September till 19th of October the stubble burning incidences were 9,000, and this year it is only 2,628. Now let me quickly enumerate what Punjab
I'll tell you why.
Has done.
There is an explanation for that. Again, you are misleading because it has been raining over the northern plains, so the parali burning has been put off and delayed. In fact, this time, one second, Mr. Joshi.
What is
I don't, 1 minute, please allow me, sir. I beg you.
45 minutes into the debate.
I beg you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, sir. You have no respect for the viewers. I shouldn't give them time. I should give important people like you only the time. I didn't ask you, sir, to continue. You could have left.
Okay,
but don't be intolerant of the views of the public. The public has as much a right to participate, and I said in the very beginning that there will be people who will be calling in, and I will be taking their opinion. So have a little bit of patience, sir. Please.
Allow me to complete. I did not interrupt any of the panelists. I was patient. So you have 45 minutes. If sitting silent for 45 minutes does not count as patience, I don't know what does. So now coming back to the point what Punjab government has done. Punjab government has recently inaugurated a bioenergy plant which produces 33 tons of biogas material and consumes 1.3 lakh tons of the biomass, which is going to be increased to 20 plants of such nature. So this is what Punjab government has done. You conveniently forget to mention that there has been only 28% stubble burning incidences for the same period, and you, without any significant sample size, without any significant database, you say that is because of the rainfall only. So,
sir, do you read the newspapers?
It's 6 months into 6 months into
Mr.
the government.
Joshi, you can keep battling me down. I am okay with that, please. But do you read the newspapers? Should I pull out the articles for you? Excuse me. Should I pull out the article? Excuse me. Can I pull out the articles for you and tell you what the newspapers with reporters who have gone on the ground and investigated the points, sir, that you are making have concluded? Listen to me. By today, a few days before Diwali, ask anyone who lives in the union capital, perhaps you do too, the situation is even worse than it is today. Why? Because by now you would have already had at least 10 to 15,000 fires burning on the plains of Punjab and other states that surround us. Right?
Now, Rahulji,
one second, sir. The only reason, now, sir, the only reason that has not happened, that spike has not happened in those numbers is because of the unseasonal rains and the long-lasting effect of the retreating monsoon. Please read. I am not talking. I'll show you the articles. I will just pull out the article. Give me 2 more minutes. So I am not misleading you. I will read out the.
I'm not misleading. All I am asking about is the Commission of Air Quality Management run by the Ministry of
I'm asking you
Environment
if it is about 1 second. If it is about GRAP rules, then sir, the farmers should also be told to stop. Who is implementing that law there? You have given them a complete exemption. Mr. Bhatnagar, can you please, Mr. Manchanda, can you please step in and speak to Mr. Joshi, who thinks he knows it all? Please go ahead.
Thank you, Rahul.
I don't know it, but I know a bit.
You know,
one thing
little
that
knowledge is a dangerous
like
thing. Little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Please educate yourself with all the facts. Yes.
I am a professional physician.
Now let me go to Mr. Manchanda, who knows a lot more because he's researched it. Mr. Manchanda.
Thank you, Rahul. I'd just like to clear the stage first. Any opinions that IIT Delhi or IIT Kanpur has been giving in the reports are not opinions. They are evidence-based. Just to clear that out. It's not my personal opinion. We have enough evidence for that. And coming to the evidence, at IIT Delhi at least, we've been running the most sophisticated suite of instruments for the past 2 years, giving you around 150 different chemical species at every 15 minutes, not just on Diwali days, but all year round. And based on those instrument measurements, we've come to the conclusion that we are not discounting the fact that there's no pollution on Diwali. There definitely is.
Yes.
But coming to what's making the Delhi haze following Diwali, it is definitely the biomass burning, because the haze is not formed due to primary emissions. It's more of secondary aged emissions. And based on our data, we have enough evidence to say that it is indeed the biomass burning which is causing the haze in the days following Diwali, the 45-day period that we've been talking about. And it is published, it is accepted by worldwide research journals, and we have enough evidence for that, I would say.
So let me now just quickly bring in some viewers before I wrap this up, viewers. Satbir calling in from Taran Taran, hopefully from a perspective on the ground there. Satbir ji, go ahead. Good evening.
Good evening, Sat Sri Akal ji. My namaste to all the honorable panelists.
Thank you, sir.
I am a small-time farmer, and with about 1.5 acres of land, I can only speak on behalf of the farmers. I am not from any political party at all.
Wonderful.
Let me make it clear.
Yes.
See, the thing is, the ground reality is that these small farmers, it is very easy to say, don't burn the parali, whosoever is in the government. Where is the solution? The solution is there must be a community-based machine given by the government, whichever government it is there,
Wonderful.
so that it is used by all the farmers for that period of 2 days, 3 times a year.
Absolutely.
It is simple. No farmer
Sai
is going
Deepak
to
was
buy
making
a
the
3
same
to 4
point, sir.
lakh machine,
Satbir ji,
which is
Sai
going to use
Deepak
only
was making
2
the
or 3
same
days
point.
a year.
Yes, same point was made by Sai Deepak. He's raising his hand. Let's listen to him. Yes.
People should.
So one of the things that was actually pointed out before the Supreme Court was, let the state governments actually place an affidavit. How are they going to address this problem with respect to the very same community of small farmers who are not in a position to fund these machines? I'll give you in stark contrast what is being said. On the other hand, even small-time manufacturers of firecrackers are being told to invest in extremely expensive machines for the sake of quality control. So when it comes to farmers, there is a leeway that is being given, and when a solution is presented, there is no allocation of budget forthcoming. And when it comes to firecracker manufacturers, as opposed to a cluster of firework units being told to install the unit, every unit, small, big or medium,
is being asked to install it.
There you go.
That is the distinction.
That's the distinction. And viewers, today the Aam Aadmi Party is not providing those machines to people like Satbir ji, who are calling in. And even if they are too late and they are too little. And you have now, therefore, people like Joshi and Muni hanging Diwali up as the villain. That's the problem. Mansi from Bengaluru, I have precisely 30 seconds on the show. Good evening, Mansi, go ahead.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Regarding this Delhi crackers के लिए इतनी बंदिश है, मदीना के लिए कभी नहीं थी. मदिरा तो खुलेआम सभी लोगों के ऊपर, पेट के ऊपर कुछ इफेक्ट नहीं होता है.
Let people enjoy and be festive. Biswajit ji from Patna, go ahead. Biswajit, good evening, sir.
Good evening, and very good you manage the show actually. Don't let anyone do nautanki there. But what I'm saying is like AAP is always doing nautanki. They will continue doing the nautanki.
Okay. Well, I'll leave it at that. That's the viewers' opinion coming out of the back of the show. News are coming up, viewers. Stay with us. Don't go away.